Hello and welcome to Friday's Reflection. Today we're going to conclude our time looking at some of the encounters with the risen Christ. But let's begin our time now together in prayer.
Come to worship, prepared to see your life and the world through new eyes. For Christ is risen. He is risen indeed. Hallelujah.
John chapter 21, verses 15 to 19. When they had finished eating, Jesus said to Simon Peter, "Simon, son of John, do you love me more than these?" "Yes, Lord," he said, "you know that I love you." Jesus said, "Feed my lambs." Again Jesus said, "Simon, son of John, do you love me?" He answered, "Yes, Lord, you know that I love you." Jesus said, "Take care of my sheep." The third time he said to him, "Simon, son of John, do you love me?" Peter was hurt because Jesus asked him a third time, "Do you love me?" He said, "Lord, you know all things. You know that I love you." Jesus said, "Feed my sheep. Very truly, I tell you, when you were younger, you dressed yourself and went where you wanted. But when you are old, you will stretch out your hands, and someone else will dress you and lead you where you do not want to go." Jesus said this to indicate the kind of death by which Peter would glorify God. Then he said to him, "Follow me."
Imagine you are Peter. It has been a bumpy ride these past weeks. You still can't quite believe that it is Jesus here with you. It's amazing seeing him again. But underneath it all, something is not quite right. But best not dwell on things, you say to yourself. This is great. Jesus is here. All is well. Is it not? You are drying off by the fire, having just jumped into the water earlier. You and your friends are sharing breakfast with him by the shore of the lake. The sun has risen and there is now warmth in the air. When you're finishing, Jesus turns and looks at you. How does it feel to have Jesus' attention on you like this? Then Jesus says, "Simon, son of John, do you love me more than these?" How do you react to this question? "Yes, Lord," you say. "You know that I love you." "Feed my lambs," Jesus says. How do you feel to hear this? Then Jesus turns to you again and says, "Simon, son of John, do you love me?" How do you feel to be asked this a second time? you answer, "Yes, Lord, you know that I love you." Then Jesus says, "Take care of my sheep." Then, for a third time, Jesus says, "Simon, son of John, do you love me?" How do you feel as he asks you this again? You start to feel hurt. What is he getting at, you wonder? How do you feel towards Jesus at this point? You reply, "Lord, you know all things. You know that I love you." You look at Jesus. How does Jesus look back at you? Then Jesus says, "Feed my sheep. Very truly, I tell you, when you were younger, you dressed yourself and went where you wanted. But when you are old, you will stretch out your hands, and someone else will dress you and lead you where you do not want to go." Then he said to him, "Follow me." How does it feel to hear Jesus saying these things to you? Do you want to follow? Stay in this place, and if it feels good, perhaps speak to Jesus about what you're thinking. And then slowly let the scene fade. And now, reflecting on your time of prayer, imagine Jesus is sitting beside you now. What is staying with you? Is there anything you need to say to him? speak to Jesus, and then finish this time by giving space for Jesus to respond and spend time with you.
Thank you for joining us for today's reflection and for this week. Please do join us on Sunday for worship and as we continue our reflections next week. Let's conclude now in prayer. Do not be afraid.
Jesus is the first and the last,
And the living one.
He was dead, and behold,
He is alive forever and ever.
because He lives, we also will live.
Jesus Christ is risen.
He is risen indeed.